Good afternoon, folks. This is Kimberly Jessica reporting in live from Hollywood, California today, and I'm here from the Wake Up TV show interviewing none other than Director X. As many of you are listening to the radio these days, you're hearing the hot song, Cell Phone Bling, directed by none other than Director X, who did the video, which I find amazing. It kind of reminded me of LL Cool J's video, Doing It Well, in the 90s. How are you? We have Director X on the line with us today. How are you today, Director X?
I'm doing good. How are you feeling?
Good, good. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to interview with us today. I hear you're up in Vancouver.
Yes, I am. I'm shooting Center Stage 3. Yep.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you again for taking the time to interview with us today. I wanted to just go through some things that we were doing some research online, and, we were talking about, we're doing a whole segment on parents and, just basically things that we should be allowing our children to be involved in. And one of the issues that came up for us was around rap music, around raising children. And we know that you had an incident earlier in the year that if you're comfortable talking about that, we can. But if not, we just wanted to kind of touch on some of the work that you've done recently with Drake, as well as your thoughts on rap music and just music in general that's negative and how it affects other children. We had an opportunity last year to work with two-time Grammy winner Carvin Hagen. We did a whole thing around Rage Against the Ratchet, where, the whole thing around the music and the kids and the radio. And it seems like, it's just an ongoing thing. And so we just wanted to pull you in to get your ideas and thoughts on it, as well as share some of the things that you're doing that's recent.
Yeah, well, it's very real. If you were to just walk around today and say to yourself, I hate everybody, or I love everybody, I love everybody, you'd be getting, you can feel the difference right in
mm-hmm.
You feel it in your body, right? So
mm-hmm.
you have these lyrics that are very, very violent, that kids keep listening to, repeating, writing their own versions of it. It has an effect on your perception of violence. But at the same time,
mm-hmm.
also there's a flip side to that. So we have a black community that's going crazy with song lyrics, and then you start adding on, economics, just all the things that come in the community itself. These things start to balloon. It gets bigger. It's not that it created the problem, but it can fuel the problem. Where
mm-hmm.
on the other side of it, you have police officers that all go home, and no one ever brings this up. When's the last time you saw a cop in a movie arrest somebody?
I don't think I ever really see that. Right. They end up dead pretty much.
They always end up dead. They throw them off the side of the buildings. They shoot them. They run them. The ending of a cop movie is when the cop kills the bad guy. So you have mm-hmm. all these police officers strapping on their guns and getting ready to go to work, and in the back of their mind is also popular entertainment. And today might be the day. They might have to save their partner and use both the guns and drive the car. And so everyone has all these fantasies
mm-hmm.
popping around
mm-hmm.
the back of their head that play out in the real world, right? So
mm-hmm.
At the same time, I do point at music and say, yeah, this is having an effect. I'm pointing at the movies, too.
Right.
It's not, and I'd love for someone to do a study versus how police even fire their guns when popular, pop with the guns. Now they just shoot multiple shots. Back in the day, you used to take a shot and see how the way.
Now they're taking 16 and 20 shots. They're pumping people with lead.
Exactly.
I've even seen recently where they jump on the hood of a car and they shoot someone like 16 times. Like they empty the clip, literally.
And this is all stuff out of action movies. So
right.
Remember, these are young guys. These cops are young. They're not all old men. These are guys watching movies and having fantasies about what they're going to do, and when they get their shot. So it affects everyone. The entertainment affects everybody when it comes to this stuff.
Well, I believe, like you said, it shapes the culture. When you have the 60s, where during the Vietnam War, right, you had the whole culture of music from, Janis Joplin to, Jimi Hendrix. It was an entire hippie movement that shaped the 60s, right? Where, you know, some of the music in some terms even ended the war. Like for me, even in my country, I'm from Panama. So overseas, you know, they had entire songs made for when President Kennedy died, for, you know, when his brother died, entire songs, entire movements to end the Vietnam War, right? So music can, like you said, it can shape an entire culture. Now, I remember being in high school in the 80s. And so when you had the music back then, it was MC Lyte, Kool Moe Dee, you know what I'm saying, LL, it was Run DMC, it was, you know, self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. That whole movement where rap music was, you know, it was very different. And then I noticed since the 90s, different rappers came on the scene, and I know. Did you notice that there was a decline, because from where I sit, I noticed it 20 years ago, and so I'm happy today that people like you, Carvin Higgins, and people like you are talking about it. But I think more people need to step forward. I mean, did you notice it from back then, or is this something
definitely. We all noticed it, but I think someone pointed it out. I don't remember who it was a long time ago, but you saw the shift also came with the shift of generation. Our generation, the generation of hip-hop that you're talking about, was also a generation. Their parents were very much in the civil rights struggle, were fighting their own battles, you know. So then then the new generation came in, you know, the NWAs and the Mobb Deeps and them, and they were children of the Reagan years, where money was paramount and power, and communities were changing, and it's just, so it's, you know, it's not like someone said, you know, I'm talking about violence more. There's things that happen to make those, you know, again, the music isn't creating the problem. They can fuel it, but it cannot. They
fuel it, correct. The problem is already there. The music just kind of starts talking about it. It brings awareness, but then at some point, I think it gets glorified.
Exactly.
On some level.
And then,
some level.
Yeah, well, you know, if you come from a neighborhood you come from a violent neighborhood, the music might not make you do it, but it reaffirms what's going on. It's just, you know, it plays a part in denying it is just denying reality.
Right. It is. And again, I'm glad that, you know, you're bringing this awareness up. Now tell us, Director X, what are some of the things you're working on? I mean, how does it feel? You know, I just can't not blast Cell Phone Bling in my car. That song is so hot. To me, it's like, you know, you have, you know, from the 60s, you had the Beatles with the British invasion. But right now, I feel like the Canadians are killing it. Seriously, you know, you directing this video. What inspired you? I mean, with the way you made the video, you know, it kind of, again, it brought me back to, you know, LL's doing it. That was a pop song in the 90s. You know, LL was in that booth. And so that was like so nostalgic. I remember you also, I have to point this out. You were doing Brandy's video back in 2000, I think it was September of 2008 in Los Angeles. I remember standing next to you, and you had that thing in your hand. And of course, the video came out amazing. I forgot the name of the song, but it was like a comeback song for her. And she did it, and her mother was dead, and it was in the video, and you were doing some amazing. That's how I remember you from back then too. Tell me, what was it that in your whole direction, the way you do things, you have an art. There's a specificity to the way that you do things. I remember even at one point when they were moving, you were like, stop. You made them like you're very, very particular and specific. What motivates you? What inspires you? What are some of the things going through Director X's mind?
It depends on the project. Depends what we're trying to say. You know, the Brandy one was about people that have passed away and coming back to speak to them, right? Had its own weight on it. And then, like Drake's a performance video. It's all about creating an environment for him to perform in and to be a really fun experience for people to really enjoy watching it and you know, that kind of thing. So depending on what you're trying to get will influence how you go about doing it.
How does it feel like getting all this amazing feedback on this video?
Well, it's terrific. Every artist wants to paint on the largest canvas that's going to be hanging in the place with the most amount of people seeing it, right? So,
right.
Yeah, it's great. There's all this. It's quite a response. Quite a response.
It is. It is. What are some of the latest projects that you're working on and that you'd like to share with us?
Right now, I'm in Vancouver. I'm shooting Center Stage 3 for Sony Pictures and Lifetime.
So, oh wow!
Yeah, that's taken up a lot of.
So you're in film now.
Yeah, shooting a movie. My first movie. They've changed the name. The name of my first movie is going to be Across the Line, and it won Best Film at the Atlantic Film Festival. So
wow.
You'll see that coming down. And Center Stage is a very, for ballet dancers, it's a very important film franchise. It's about ballet, and it's any dancer, any real dancer knows Center Stage, and they love it. It's just part of being a dancer is Center Stage. It's just one of those things. And then Across the Line, it used to be called Undone, but Across the Line is about the racial tensions in Halifax in Canada, where the largest and oldest black community in Canada is in an area called North Preston. And these are the descendants of the Underground Railroad. So you always heard those stories about slaves running away to Canada. Well, this is where they went. And it's influenced by a school riot that they had along racial lines, where the kids from Preston got into a kickoff with the working class white kids from an area called Eastern Passage. So that inspired this story that we did.
Wow. So you're in film. How does it feel going from music video to film? And was that a difficult transition for you? Or did it just feel natural? Was it a natural progression?
It's fine. It's all the same equipment, all the same positions. Only difference is, instead of singing to a track, they're saying words on a page. But beyond that, it is the same procedure.
Wow. Awesome. And how's your son doing?
Terrific.
Awesome.
Boy is great.
Well, how old is he, may I ask?
He's 5.
He's 5. Well, kids are our future, and it's wonderful that, you care about what kids are, what's going on with kids these days. And I just applaud you on all of the amazing things that you've done and taking the time out to interview with Wake Up TV. Do you want to leave any last words with our audience before we wrap up the interview?
Hey, love and light, man. Enjoy yourself out there.
Well, thank you very much, Director X, for taking the time to interview with Wake Up TV. And happy holidays, and stay safe. And we look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much as well, Doreen. Have a great day, guys.
No problem.
Right.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.